All right, so first thing we're going to do is to rewrite exponents that are fractions. So if I have a fraction as an exponent, the top number stays my power, the bottom number is your root. And you can either write your power on the outside or on the inside. So an example would be right here. 2 is my power, 3 is my root. So if I wanted to rewrite this, then I'd say 9 to the 3/2. So I would say it's the square root of 9. Then I want to cube it. I always want to do the root first because it's easier. So 3 cubed is what you're saying, or you could say 27. So rewrite this. This is an imaginary 2 here. So it'd be a to a 5/2. This is a square root. The bottom number is the root. The top number is the power. So this would be whatever 4 to the 5th is. That's the root. It goes on bottom. You should try to pause and see if you can get these down. All right, so now this is negative, so it goes on bottom. The cube root of 64, and then I'm going to square it, which would mean 1 over 4 squared, or 1 over 16. And then this right here, the whole power, I would have to have the whole power to a 1/2, or you can write that as 7 to a 1/2, x to a 3/2. The 1/2 goes to both of them. So rules that we should have learned in Algebra 1, if you're multiplying with the same base, you add your exponents. Power to a power and multiply. You can distribute over multiplication only, not division. Negative exponents, put it on bottom. When you're dividing, you should subtract your exponents. And just like with multiplication, I can distribute, you can distribute over division, but only multiplication and division. So to simplify these right here, first thing I'm going to do is this is 10 to a 1/2, and this is 10 to a 1/3. So same base, add your exponents. So you're doing 1/2 plus 1/3. So if you need to, get your calculator out, and that's 10 to the 5/6. So this is 3 to a 4/5, 3 to a 7/4. So I need to add 4/5 and 7/4, which I just put my calculator back and I'm lazy. So I get 51/20. So it'd be 3 to the 51 over 20. So this, add your exponents. So I get y to a 5/6. If you don't believe me, you do 1/2 plus 1/3, and it's 5/6. Here, it's the same exponent, so I can pull it back out. You cannot do anything yet to it. So I'm going to pull it back out. So it's like the reverse of this problem right here. I have an exponent, I'm pulling it back out. So then this would be 27 to a 1/3. 27 to a 1/3 is 3. So I'm going to first rewrite this. So it'd be 3/9. That'd be y to a 9/3. And then you subtract. This is really 1/3 and this is 3. So I'm doing 1/3 minus 3. So I'd have y, I thought I hit enter. I'd have y to a negative 8/3. It's negative, so it would go on bottom. So you have y over, and technically we'd break this down into y to a 6/3 times y to a 2/3, because this is a whole number. So you'd have 1 over y squared, y to a 2/3. Or the cube root of y squared probably is how we would really write that out. So distribute this to each term. I get 16 and a negative 3/4. Multiply, you're going to do negative 8 times negative 3/4 in your calculator. And you get y to a 6. This is negative, so it's going to go on bottom. So I have y to the 6 over 16. That's a 4th root of 16 cubed. The 4th root of 16 is 2. 2 cubed is 8. So that's your answer for 6. Do this, I'm going to do 32 to a power of 4/5. And since it's negative, it goes on bottom. So you see that right there, it's 16. So I'm going to put 1 over 16. And now power to power here, you do 30 times 4/5 and 15 times. I made them all positive because I knew a negative times a negative is a positive. That's going to give me x to a 24th, it said, and y to a 12th. So 16 to a power of 5/2. This is 16 times 5/2. And this would be 4 times 5/2. Then negative would put it on bottom. So you should try these definitely on your own if you've not yet paused me, and then unpause me when you're done. So hopefully you paused it and now you're checking your work. So I'm going to subtract because it's division. So it's 5/14, so x to a 5/14. This would be 3 to a 1/2 times 3 to a 1/4. So add those, and I get 3/4. That's a cube root of 64, negative 64, times, and that would be x to a -3. Cube root of negative 64 is -4. That would go on bottom to make it positive.